Welcome back to From the Shed End with myself, T.Dot. As always, thank you very much for joining me. Now, before we get into the content, please go and subscribe to the channel, smash that like button and let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. And if you're interested in our podcast, you can go and hit the Linktree link in the description. It will take you to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, where you can go back and listen to all our podcast episodes that we've recorded previously. Now, let's give Dinamo Zagreb the credit that they deserve, because I thought they played really well. Let's credit their fans actually as well, because their fans came into the stadium, made a lot of noise from what I can gather. Didn't stop for 90 minutes. They were constant, banging the drum, making sure that we could hit. We knew that Dinamo Zagreb fans were in the stadium. They didn't stop. Even at half time, they were still going. So credit their fans, credit the way that they started the game as well. I thought they played really well. We're going to get onto our lineup soon, but I thought that they played really well. I was really impressed with the way that they started the game, very much like the game that we played, initially to open our Champions League campaign this season against them in Croatia. They started on the front foot. They played really well. I thought we were really slow to get into the game, which allowed them to score their goal. I think it was Petrovic got their goal. A ball in from the right, and I think Chalobah, no one really picks him up. Chalobah's almost in no man's land, doesn't really get close enough to Petrovic as well. Neither does Koulibaly, and it's an easy goal. It's a goal for him. It's an easy goal, and you do start to think as the game went on, is this what we've got to come? It was a nothing game for us anyway. We didn't need the points, but we needed a good performance, and I think throughout as the game went on, we got to see that. But to start off, it was a bit of a slow start for us, and it was a strange one as well, because let's get into the lineup, because obviously, Graham Potter I'd assume the intention to rest a lot of players ahead of Arsenal, probably because of the Brighton performance, the 4-1 defeat. I think that changed a lot of things in his plans. I think he would have loved to have rested Raheem Sterling, not play Patrick Aubameyang, maybe not give Koulibaly the time that he did on the pitch, and maybe rest Jorginho as well. I don't know, but I feel that the plans for Potter would have changed from the defeat to Brighton. Maybe for I've got to put out a strong squad. I need to send a message not just to the fans but to the players as well, that you've got to perform, and if you don't perform, you're going back out there to show me what you can do. So I think he was right in some ways to play the squad that he did. I'm glad he went with a back four. Something that I discussed in the preview as well. I think the back four worked. It showed more defensive. There was less pressure on Azpilicueta, less pressure on Chilwell, which unfortunately came back to backfire on Graham Potter. But brilliant performance from the back four. I thought once that goal went in, they were very solid. Azpilicueta was very good defensively. There were times when the ball had been put forward for him and he couldn't just latch onto that ball. He was just 2 steps behind the ball. Something I've said on here many a times. I think his legs are just shot to bits. I don't think he's got the speed, the agility to go forward as much as maybe Reece James has when he's fit as well. So I was impressed with Trevor Chalobah, bar the goal that we conceded. I thought he put in another solid performance. Koulibaly coming in to get some minutes. There was a bit of a scare, I think, during the first 15-20 minutes. I think Zakaria goes in for a tackle and almost tumbles into Koulibaly, and I thought his knee had gone. The way he went down, I thought his game might be done for the night, but he carried on. He played well. Another solid performance from him as well, so I was impressed with the 2 centre backs there. Now Dennis Zakaria is a player that we've all been questioning. Is he good enough? Should he be starting? Why hasn't he started? And last night he put all those doubts to bed. Now let's say it is obviously Dinamo Zagreb, it's just them. It was a game that was nothing to play for in terms of us. Zagreb still had a chance to qualify had AC Milan lost. But Zakaria, what a performance. I think as a Chelsea fan, I forgot what it's like to dominate midfield, command midfield, bully the midfielders, time on the ball, look for that pass, get forward as well. Allow Jorginho to get forward at times. Zakaria was comfortable to carry the ball into that final third, into the attacking areas of the pitch, and it just looked really comfortable. And I don't know if that's just because it's Zagreb and Zagreb didn't really, they stood off him a little bit, or just the fact he's really good. I'm not sure. I mean, I'd like to see him play against Arsenal. I think he deserves that chance. He was my man of the match. I think Mason Mount ended up getting it from Chelsea, but I think for me personally, he was a man of the match performance from him. I remember talking about Bakayoko when we signed him, and everything I thought about Bakayoko, I'm saying about Dennis Zakaria as well, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. about this one. I'm hoping I'm right. Sorry about Zakaria. I'm hoping that he's better than Bakayoko. We all know how the downfall of Bakayoko went, but I think Zakaria, to me, looked comfortable on the ball. You know, he was able to pass the ball, get it forward. It allowed, like I said, Jorginho to get forward, and I think even for the goal, for Sterling's goal, you know, I think it was a ball from Jorginho to Patrick Aubameyang, through ball, lovely flick from Aubameyang, flicked it back to Raheem Sterling, who does what he should do. That's what Raheem Sterling should do every single game. Just take a little move to the left, move to the right, look for that space, and just put it in the corner. That's all he's got to do. You know, I've said it on here before, the amount of times Sterling gets the ball and he's taking a million touches, or he's not shooting, he's not attempting to take a shot on target or even score. Last night he done that. He got a goal. It was a bit of a scruffy one, but because it didn't have much power on the shot, but it was enough to let the goalkeeper have to try and save it. It was in the corner. It made it difficult for the goalkeeper to get it, and that's what we need from Raheem Sterling. More often than not. Now, he does have 2 second opportunities, I think, in the first half. 2 which is skies. I mean, one, I think it was a lovely ball. I can't remember. It might have been Chilwell who whipped the ball in. Or I think it was Havertz, actually. Sorry, I think it was Havertz that whips the ball in. Beautiful ball in. Only player in the box. This is something, again, that I'm starting to slowly see with Chelsea. There's never anyone in the box. Hardly ever. So, beautiful ball in from Havertz, and it is a bit of a difficult one for Sterling, but he does have the opportunity to potentially take it down, maybe take another touch and then shoot, or half volley, just get it on the volley. But he skies that one. The second one, I mean, he should be scoring that because there's no one marking him. He's unmarked. He's in front of the goal. Whether he just hits it, connects with it on the wrong part of his foot, and it just skies over the bar, but not even to get that on target. It's these things, Sterling, that you need to get out of your system and be able to play better with. But overall, thought Havertz played a really good game. I thought Mason Mount, again, playing him in the position that we should be playing him in, played really well. I think, like I said, he got the man of the match from Chelsea, but he played really well. It was a solid performance. And now, obviously, I did say before the game, and I was speaking to a couple of people offline as well, and I was saying it's a risky thing to play so many players that you might play against Arsenal on Sunday. One of them being Koulibaly, who came off with a slight knock. Zakaria, we weren't sure how he was going to play today. And a brilliant goal. I haven't spoke about his goal, but what a goal to get on your debut. It was a lucky goal. I think, the defender, the goalkeeper should do a little bit better, but still to go for, I mean, we haven't seen that from someone playing in that sort of double pivot defensive midfield role, getting forward and taking shots on. We haven't seen that in how long. So to get that goal, that will do him a massive boost in confidence. But he came off with a knock as well, Zakaria. He came off with a slight injury. Now, the big one was Ben Chiwell, who looked like a hamstring. But if I'm going to be honest, I think it could be a bit more than a hamstring. And I'm hoping I'm wrong because, the World Cup's around the corner. I think he might even be too late for that now. I think, hamstring, you're talking 4 to 6 week recovery. And obviously we know that the World Cup starts in a couple of weeks, less than that. So I think it could be another big blow for Ben Chiwell. Now, I've always said when you have an injury that Ben Chiwell had last season, it's very difficult to come back from them. You're probably never going to be the same player that you was before. The rehabilitation can take 2+ seasons, and I think he's come back. He's tried to get himself back fit for this season, and it's worked in spells. But even the way with a hamstring as well, you tend to feel that your hamstring's about to go. There's a sign. If you've played football, you'll know that there's a sign where your hamstring, 9 out of 10 times, you'll know before it's gonna go that your hamstring's gonna go. And with Chilwell, he just went. It's something that's like popped. So let's hope it's not too bad or too severe. But I think the fact he couldn't walk off the pitch and he was almost carried off, and you can see Mason Mount at the end of the game goes over, and the look on Chilwell's face tells you that he knows that it's your own body, and he knows it was a bad injury. So is it a bad thing if he misses the World Cup? Probably not. I know it sounds selfish from a Chelsea perspective, but if it means that he's able to get rehabilitation, get back fit, hopefully for next year, if it is a long-term injury, then I wouldn't want him going to the World Cup to risk it and delay him even further. It's one area of the pitch, right and left side, left back, right back, that we don't really have that depth. So I don't think we can afford to allow Ben Chiwell, if he's not fully fit to go to the World Cup, I'd rather he stays back, gets fit, comes back refreshed for next season, for second half of the season, and hopefully we can get him fit by then. But we have to see. But it's a shame for him, you know. It's obviously he's come back into the team, he's done really well, but it does mean now that Zakaria has to step up, whether that's in a left wing back position or a left back position. Zakaria has to step up now, because he's going to be, assuming he's the player, unless we put, you know, Sterling there, which I hope we don't. But if we play Zakaria as a left back or a left wing back, you've got to step up as that player that we need you to do now. We need you to be the guy that's going to drive that left side. So hopefully he can do that. But really solid performance. I thought we, you know, again, after that goal went in, we dug deep, we got the result, and that's something that we have to credit the team for. You know, we played really well, in my opinion. We got out of the group stages before this game, you know, a group that we were looking like we potentially were going to exit out of if we weren't careful. So I was impressed with us, you know. I was happy with the way that we played, and the performance that the players showed was brilliant. The resilience to carry on and get those 2 goals, the 3 points. We've got to take that momentum into Arsenal, because yes, we played well in spells last night, but there is moments in that game where you think, if this was Arsenal and we were playing Arsenal tonight, we wouldn't be winning that game. Because there were times where defensively, like I said at the start of the game, we were poor, you know, and this is a different game, whole different ball game against Arsenal. So, you know, I think it's going to be interesting what lineup Potter goes with. It's hard to obviously predict him because he does swap and change quite a bit, but I'm hoping he sticks with the back 4. You know, credit to the subs that came on. I think Silva came on, Broja, Pulisic didn't get that much game time, but he came on as well. Broja, Pulisic, Gallagher, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, that was the one. So credit to them all coming on. I think, you know, it's going to be interesting who he picks out of this team, especially with the injuries. I have heard early team news that Kovacic will be back for that game, and also Kepa potentially will be fit for that game as well. Dennis Zakaria is in contention to start. In my opinion, Zakaria has to start the Arsenal game based on how he played, and let's give him a proper test, because, you know, Zagreb is down here, but when you're playing in the Premier League and top players, you know, let's see how he does amongst the likes of the Premier League teams as well. And if it's a case that he's good, I think we should consider, you know, putting him in as a permanent transfer. I think we really should, because from what I saw last night, that's what we're lacking in midfield. So let me know your thoughts about Zakaria. Let me know your thoughts about last night's performance, 2-1. Some will say it's a brilliant performance, a good result. Some will say that it was masked and overshadowed by the injuries that we picked up last night. But let me know what you think in the comments as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. And like I said at the start of this video, if you hit the Linktree link in the description, it will take you to all our podcasts and social accounts as well. This has been T.Dot. Until next time, stay safe, and thank you very much for watching.